So I recently played Silent Hill 2. Wave insert clip of whatever screaming moment you want here. When we were playing the game, we were kind of talking about like the symbolism of the game and like the characters and the monsters and shit. So I thought it would be fun if we did like a mini monster review in this one. But I think, you know what? I've already seen all of these, so I don't want things to get too stale. So we're gonna do this in order of like from least scariest to me to the thing that probably spooked me the most. Because I think that's gonna be more interesting than just like, ooh, let's talk about the characters. Well, you're thirsting to Pyramid Head. Oh, but that's like, that's the given though.
In my restless dreams, I see that town.
You going to look at the dev notes on them as well? No, we can probably do a concept art video later. We can go a little bit more in depth, because I feel like if we do the concept art, we're gonna get like a lot more talk about the game's story and whatnot. And right now I just want to talk about the creatures. So I give thee a Silent Hill enemy review from least scary to most scary. There are approximately 13 of these buttfucks, unlucky number. Oh, and we start with the least scary. The thing that I saw and I was like,
oh man.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up! The creeper. Mama, it's a roach. You wanna know what the only thing these things served to do when I was playing the game did? They made me a little anxious because my radio was popping off and I didn't see anything. So I was immediately assuming that something was gonna jump me. And then you fucking see something skitter on the floor or wall and you're like, oh, gone. And or stick, because using the gun is for pussies. Like, I will literally steel pipe almost anything that gets in my way, mama. I am not dealing with this shit today. I'ma just fucking flack. Keep that back! Ew! Keep that back! Stop it! That's a terrible S-curve on your back! You're not a sexy waifu! Go away! Okay. I fixed it! I didn't particularly find them anything other than kind of gross, because it's like a roach, right? But they were big. The annoying thing about them was just that, the radio, right? Chompy roach. Like, they're supposed to be chompy, but like, it's just a big roach. And it's like buttfuck yellow as well. So like, if I ran into one of these, I would usually be like, oh, whack, and that's it. I never really lost my shit. However, I did learn after a while that if there was a creeper around, chances are there was something else lurking in the corner. Because almost always you get lulled into a false sense of security when you see the roach and then... To enemy number 12 on my fucking scary list, mama.
How can you sit there and eat pizza?
You said a fatso like me would just slow her down.
Eddie. It's a man. It's a dude with a gun. While Eddie's boss fight was really, like, anxiety-inducing, the thing that made his boss fight anxiety-inducing was the setting. Was, like, the cold of the freezer and, like, the hanging fucking pig carcasses. Ah, a man! One of the only few male enemies in this game, by the way. And the setting was scary. Eddie is not scary. Like, the only thing that made Eddie, quote-unquote, scary was, like, the gun. But, like, look at him. This is a pretty unassuming person. He's wearing fucking boy shorts. And, like, a gross pullover tee. And that's it. I killed a human being. Eddie counts as a monster because he is a boss fight.
Eddie's death yell in the original game is funny.
Wave, insert death yell! But, like, can we all agree that running into Eddie in Silent Hill was never particularly scary? It was just like, oh, it's you. I never felt intimidated by Eddie. I just felt kind of bad for him, you know? 11.
I won't let you do this to me. I won't let you go. I can't!
It's Mary. For the last boss of Silent Hill 2, I expected something a little bit more intense. It did throw me off that it was Mary as the fucking final boss of Silent Hill 2. But I was expecting something a lot scarier than just upside down hospital bed and that's it, you know? It reminded me of another boss we saw early on, the Flesh Lip. She's just upside down T-posing. She wasn't like scary. She didn't really add too much to the atmosphere. It just kind of felt like an action scene. You have to like just shoot it and that's it. And it was definitely like challenging in its own ways. But the enemy itself, not really scary. It's just a woman strapped to a bed. Like just goth makeup Mary strapped to a bed. Ugh. It's more emotional than scary. Yeah, I definitely like, felt bad for her, but I was also like, I need to leave. This does not quite have the grandeur and or impact that a final boss should. When you have something as important as like your last boss, you definitely want it to leave an impression, if that makes sense. Like for example, Elden Ring, Marika/Radagon, that was a very, very impressive final boss. It's very memorable. You want your final boss to be memorable, and I feel like Mary's not super memorable, if that makes sense. Especially for a game that's supposed to be that scary. So while she is a pretty good boss fight, it's not at all a scary enemy. All right, top 10, which is not really that difficult because there's only 13 of them. The lying figure. Now, the first time I saw one of these, I near shat myself. Did you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through? After like the 12th time you run into this fucking like fleshy hoe bag, like, I'm just like, beat it to death with the stick and that's it, call it a day. Is it gross? Yes. And especially when they were crawling on the ground, they scared the absolute fucking tits out of me. But once you see these like 4 or 5 times, it's like, we've seen her, we're good. And from all of like the enemies in Silent Hill 2, besides the fucking creeper, this is the other enemy that you saw and you could immediately relax. Like whenever I saw a lying figure shambling around, my shoulders would immediately relax, the tension would stop, and I could chill. Eat it. Start bleeding so you know you're dead. Good. So yeah, conceptually, not the scariest enemy. Number 9! The lying figure in the other world. Now, this one is scarier because it's A, more dangerous. B, look at it. It's like a body bag covered in razor blades and like a gross, disgusting color that puked shit at you, okay? These were also way more aggressive than the normal lying figure, and when these were crawling on the ground, yeah, I think I lost some years off my life with these. If I can't finish the game, you guys are gonna have to explain the- Jesus, yeah, these are annoying, like, and they also, like, exploded on contact, more disgusting. Are they super scary? No, not as much. Like, once I saw a lying figure, I relaxed usually because they're really easy to take care of, but this one was a little more aggravating. Number 8, baby. I think I spent a good part of the boss fight calling this thing a fleshlight. It does look like someone's very, very used and abused fleshlight. But I will say that the boss fight was one of the more intense ones in Silent Hill 2, because I was in a very small room, it swung down from the ceiling, it was very, very pointy, and it constantly fucking came for my wig. So the fleshlight did get a couple of good scares out of me. Even though I spent like half the boss fight kind of like low-key squinting at it, being like, what are you? I love the spindliness of it. Also, notice how most of these enemies do have some shape language that correlates to fucking intensity, except the lying figure. The lying figure is not usually very intense. It's almost friend-shaped, except for the legs, because at the end of the day, these were not actually meant to be monsters in the first place. That's something you don't really catch until very, very late in the game, but you can tell through the design and shape language of some of the creatures in the game that not all of them were meant to be hostile, if that makes sense. The lying figures in particular were not meant to be hostile. The flesh lip, though, that came for your wig. It's rusty, it's nasty, it's pointy. It's swing that thing. The reason why a lot of these enemies don't have hands is because they're meant to convey a feeling of helplessness, which is kind of how Mary probably felt being sick. No hands, no way to grab things, no way to touch things. You can't reach out to people, so you feel very, very helpless. So I think that that's why there's like a lack of hands in most of these enemies. Number 7!
Hello, nurse.
The bubblehead nurse. I'm not gonna lie to you, chat. When I first saw these, I was like, oh my god, wood! I changed my mind very, 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 very quickly, though. The fucking nurses inspired a decent amount of dread in me, because when they were standing still, they were not standing still. Their heads did the thing that gave me fucking anxiety. No, don't do that! Their fucking name that they had that fucking gave me anxiety. Not to mention, they're tanky. Like, they can take a few pipe hits. It was like 5 or 6 hits to take one of these down. Or shoot it a bunch of times, but like wasting bullets, the bullet economy? No, mama. Oh, stay down, please. Okay, let's show off hands, because I feel like shaming my chat a little bit. Who would? Chat, have you seen how these move?
So head.
Still would. Chat? I abstain. Good. No. Good. Good. I see a lot of no's. Yes, chat. Would be my last. No. Chat. I mean, they are dressed pretty sexy. Look at those garters, mama. But, like, it's also gross. Interesting to note that, like, the bobblehead nurses, despite the fact that they were nurses, they still looked ill. Scariest is the thing. I would not think Scariest with the bobblehead nurses, chat. Is that what their head is actually shaped like? Because I never really clocked it. It's like Toriel's head, actually. Fascinating enemy. Almost always either made me go back and think my next move or hit it with a pipe. The hospital, I think, is when I started to really feel a lot of the atmospheric dread of Silent Hill 2. I did not have a good time in there. Helen, I don't need a colonoscopy. I need to find the doctor, Helen! Helen! Number 6. We're almost at, like, the ookiest, spookiest shit in Silent Hill 2. The Mandarin. Now, what to say about this enemy that can't be fucking said without a clip of me fucking screaming? Ew, 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 ew! Nope!
Hello there.
When I could not see these things, chat, dread. I don't wanna know! I don't wanna know! What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Absolute living dread. So, like, if you've never played Silent Hill 2, the way that these enemies worked at first is you were running in probably the other world on graded floors, and these things could hang by their hands from the ceiling and they stomped around. And they could also use that little, like, mouth thing, what it do, to, like, whip out a tongue and, like, hit you from the floor. Until I actually saw one of these, I never want to encounter these. These scared the absolute fucking shit out of me. But I did fight one in the hotel, and that's why it's actually not that high up on the scary. Because if they had saved that fight until after I had to put my shit outside of the elevator and go downstairs without my gear, then I would have found them to be horrifying. But since I already knew that they could be killed, I did not actually think that much of it. I didn't really care. As a concept, and the fact that you couldn't fucking see them at all at first, yeah, I lost years off my life. Super ooky spooky. Very, very much threatening. Would not like to run into one of these in a dark room. Top 5, baby! This is the stuff that I finished stream, and I was just sitting there wheezing the whole time. Because holy shit, bad. Don't touch that. James, your wife is dead. Why are we doing this? Oh, pillow! Hi, Daddy. The only character that's gonna get my fucking triangle in this fucking stream is fucking Pyramid Daddy! Daddy. So, if the League of Bottoms meets on Tuesdays, and my feelings on this character aside... horrifying. So, Pyramid Head is pretty high up there. He's literally the most iconic design in this fucking franchise, don't at me. He is like the expert of the aura farming. My first encounter with this fuck in the apartments, he was just looking at me. I was fully expecting to get like the typical horror game moment where he would chase me down the hallways. Nope. He did not do anything. He just stared at me. Just looked at me. And I was just sitting there like, no, I don't wanna. But I had to leave to do something else. And I kept going back to that hallway and he was still there.
He's just standing there, menacingly.
Can you not? And then at one point I did like the story thing and he was gone and I was like, ugh. Like, as a concept, Pyramid Head is one of the scariest enemies in this game. Whenever I would see him, I would immediately tense up. This guy was, at least at first, like, nigh unkillable, horrifying. It really showed off James's stupidity, by the way. Like, James's caucasity came out the most whenever Pyramid Head was involved. Because, like, you tried to shoot it, it did nothing. But the reason he's only number 5, as Chad has said, is because his boss fight was piss easy. And then, when I encountered 2 of them, I got nervous for about 2 seconds before my fucking Souls training kicked in and I annihilated them both with a stick. That's the only reason why Pyramid Head is not as scary to me as he would have otherwise been. Because, like, the concept for the character is horrifying. It's the personification of somebody's guilt that's coming to haunt you and gank your ass and apparently not do nice things to the mannequin enemies. Because he always came out when you least expected him to, and he either chased you, horrifying, or he just looked at you. And that alone, not knowing if he was going to do something or not knowing if he was going to jump scare me or not, made Pyramid Daddy one of the scariest things in this game. You can't hear Silent Hill without immediately thinking of this fucker. And this is his actual build, by the way, because everybody draws Pyramid Head buff. No, he's meant to be modeled off James. James is not buff at all. Still a daddy, though. It's Tuesday. The League of Bottoms meets today. Number 4. Number 4. Number 4. Abstract Daddy. This enemy concept is horrifying. It's scary for very, very real reasons. It's not horror movie scary. It's kind of like scary as a concept. The boss fight was intense. However, once I figured out how it worked, it wasn't that scary at all. All you needed to do was like fucking dodge, dodge, bank. He had one attack and it was very easy to dodge. So like, as a boss fight, not scary. As a concept though, yeesh. Like once I figured out what it meant and I saw like the boss's name and shit, I was like, oh no, 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 no. Like it genuinely does feel horrifying as an enemy to fight. Because if I had really thought that Abstract Daddy was as imposing as the actual concept looks, I think it might have been my #1. But sadly, the boss fight was predictable.
Hey, you missed, pal.
And when something is predictable and you have Souls training, it's very easy to get around it combat-wise. Like, it's really, really high up there because its concept is horrifying. And it makes me super uncomfortable. And it's a very, very real scary thing. Not a horror movie scary thing. It represents something that's actually terrifying. It is a bed frame, and that just makes it all the more horrifying. Also remember, this is Jane's version of this concept. Angela saw something different. What Angela saw was very likely worse. All right, #3. Okay, top 3 for Silent Hill 2. Mama, let's do it. She has a knife! Chat, it has a knife! Oh, this is much meaner than the ones with the... Ooh, but the design is kind of bad, though.
Hello there.
Bobblehead Nurse, Otherworld, also known as Knife version. The first time I fought it with a stick, I feared for my life. She has a knife! She has a knife! She has a knife! Oh, it's such a good design, but she has a knife! And ever since then, I made an executive decision. Gone, 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 oh, gone! Because I could not kill these with a stick without risking severe danger to myself and to fucking dying, all right? It's tanky as shit. It has so much HP. It does a ton of damage, and it moves in a way that would make The Exorcist seems like a kid's movie. It's one of the few times that I did not feel bad about wasting bullets, because I would rather not waste my life. Oh! Ah! One of the few times that I did not actually stay to engage with the mobs. You guys know I like to fight things, yeah? Because I love doing that. I have a rule in Souls games that I kill every enemy in the dungeon at least once. Not these. Like, there were certainly areas in Silent Hill 2 that I just ran the fuck away. Like, the things that made me gag, like stress gag in Silent Hill 2, this thing. If you find this thing attractive, I have to fucking put in a severe, like, fucking check on your mentals, chat. You cannot fix your chat. No, bad. Bad. But it's kind of sexy, though. The second scariest enemy in Silent Hill 2. Bang, bang, bang. It's Silent Hill, girls, bang. Bob, bang. Silent Hill. Ah! Wait, really, Lily? The mannequin legs are scary? Yes, 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 they are. Yes, they are. Every fucking stream. Pares de nalgas juntos, what's the fucking deal? Like, every fucking stream.
My name is James, and I'm chugging pizza.
This rancid-ass pussy would jump scare me at least once. And you wanna know what the worst part is? They're good jump scares. I couldn't even get mad at it. These were intentionally programmed that if they were not moving, the radio didn't fucking go off, okay? So if you were not paying attention, you would get fucking like, suddenly pussy, and it would scare the shit out of you. It happened to me at least once per stream. These were the things that actually landed the most hits on me, believe it or not. They never killed me, but they managed to fucking sock me in the jaw at least once, okay? No. Super 8. Now look what you did, I only have 24 syringes. It's one of the most iconic enemies in the game besides Pyramid Daddy and the nurses, because you run into them so much. And it's a really unsettling design. It's masterfully done body horror without being like so fucking gross that it makes you gag on sight. It's unsettling, but it's not entirely unapproachable. Like, you could fight this, no problem. Have a keen sense, Latinos. See, I fucking tell you, you're not gonna be in here. Like, you're not gonna be in this party because you're gonna have enough sense to not even come in. All right, it's time for the fucking scariest fucking enemy in this fucking game. No.
Itsy bitsy spider.
I don't think I've ever hated a mob in a video game quite as bad as I have this one. These thunder made me so anxious. No, you'd think that like, oh, you just fucking kill it and that's it, right? No, 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 chat. They would be on the walls.
Goddamn wall!
They would be on the ceiling. They would be skittering around. As soon as they fucking felt light, they would leave. But then when you least expect it, you'd hear and it would fucking gank you. Like, I think that when it comes to scary games and enemy designs, monsters should be able to do two things. One, scare you. Here you go. Die. Oh, there's two of them! Done and dusted. Two, make you want to not keep going forward. Dude! I swear to God! Come down here! Down! Part of the struggle with playing Silent Hill 2 for me was like mustering the willpower to keep going because it was so fucking scary. And these things did both. Oh, the music is so much worse without the radio. It's tweaking out. But yeah, like I can easily say that the enemy that made me pause and want to go back the most or like turn off the game was these, because I never really knew how to deal with them. Like, sure, I could gun, but even then, the gun wasn't super reliable because they would run away as soon as they saw light. So, if I, like, heard the skittering of the spider mannequin on the walls, I was like, oh, no, I don't want to deal with these. And after we left the prison, I thought I was fine. I thought that we got rid of these, and then they showed up in the labyrinth, and then the hotel, and in the hotel I was like, oh, this is my hell, because the ceilings are not fucking high at all. So, like, in terms of, like, game design and character design as well, like, this is horrific. Like, the idea of two legs sewn together at the waist that could still move around is, like, something with no autonomy whatsoever, but pure hostility. That's why it's so fucking scary, you know? And, they scared the living daylights out of me, chat. So that's why I can confidently say this is the scariest enemy in Silent Hill 2. I'm sorry. Like, Pyramid who? Abstract Daddy who? No, this! Oh, dude, stop it! Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Dude. Yeah, like, overall, I do think that Bluer Team did a really, really good job with the remake. And from taking the initial concepts and modernizing them, they managed to keep, like, what I think is the essence of the thing that makes these scary. And they built on it, because stuff like the mannequin legs would have probably not been as scary for me in the original, but they got me every single time. It had great symbolism, great use of horror elements, the body horror, desaturation, intense shapes and angles, very, like, filthy looking, uncomfortable, especially the Abstract Daddy. They did an amazing job designing all of these enemies in a way that would definitely make you feel anxiety when looking at them. The entire game is a masterclass of tension. I think it's the scariest thing I've ever fucking encountered in a video game in my life. And, nowhere to go but up from here, chat. And that's why I do think that these, deserved a little review of their own, slash a ranking, because, yeah, I had a great time with the game. Would I play Silent Hill 2 again? No. No! Every fucking... Hold on, I need a minute. Every fucking time. Hold on, this area is really scary, chat. I'm sorry, I need it.
Look at the bunnies.
If you like this video, though, like, comment, subscribe. Which is, like, the enemy that you think is the scariest? Let me know in the comments. Fight your demons. You guys know I like to hear it. And don't forget, if you want to be a Giga Chad, and if you want to get through every spooking experience without jumping out of your skin, go try some Gamer Subs. It'll leave you energized. It's fucking cheapest energy drink on the market. Delicious, so many flavors. And you can get yours now if you use code KINKIMATION at checkout for 10% off.